Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to quickly introduce myself. I am EUSOFF bin Su'in Zakaria and come with my another two friends, which is Azimuddin and ZAEEF. Okay, so today we do like to discuss about some common product that we are about to use in our daily routine, especially in Malaysian country, which is some popular local product. So the local product that we going to be discussed is Gardenia Bakeries. Okay, I'll go first. Okay, before we go through the detail about the product, so let me tell you the main point of my section. Okay, here as you can see on slide, today I will be covering these three key points for my section, which is background of the company, segmentation of the company, and brief history. Okay, let's go to the first one, which is the background of the company. Okay, Gardenia Bakery is a joint venture company of Singapore List Food Group (COF) Ltd, which is also operate on Gardenia Singapore and Philippines, and also Malaysian company, which is Padi Beras Nasional Berhad. Next, we go to the segmentation of the product. Okay, as we all know, Gardenia is kind of brand or product that actually strong brand in Malaysia. Gardenia has produced a lot of kind of bread, such as the latest one is butterscotch, Delicia, Twingies, breadthrough, and many others. So in order to satisfy different level of customer, so every Gardenia product has its own special feature. For example, Gardenia breadthrough bread is actually not a bread, but consumer have a perception that it is a healthy food. The question is, what kind of makes people think that Gardenia product or brand that produce a healthy food? Okay, first, it contains a 38% less carbohydrate, 30 more times dietary fiber, 15% less calories, 59% more protein, low glycemic index in 42, low glycemic load on 6.5, prebiotic properties, low fat, no trans fat, and no added sugar. So the price of Gardenia bread is low and almost the same as other competitors. In fact, the pricing of Gardenia bread is controlled by the government. This is because of the ingredient of the bread, flour, and which is the one of the product that are under the control of the government in Malaysia. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look of target market. So the target market of Gardenia Bakery Sdn Bhd, they actually about to use two target market, which is consumer market and reseller market. So consumer market, they consist of individual and household, while reseller market, they consist of retailer and supermarket, which is like Tesco and Aeon, and convenience store like KKM, KK Mart, 7-Eleven, and many more. The different target market can suit different customer group that can help in achievement maximum profit. Besides, Gardenia Bakeries Sdn Bhd have separate different offer to target on each market segment by offering the market with variety of breads. For example, Gardenia whole white bread is mainly target to senior citizen level or anyone that prefer on healthier choice. While Gardenia waffles, they mainly target to teenager levels. In addition, the targeting strategy that used by Gardenia Sdn Bhd is differentiated marketing or mass marketing. So remember, it's bread which is so good you can even eat it by your own by listening to the song. The song you can search it on YouTube or somewhere on another website. So I think that song is kind of famous actually because they used to appear sometimes on advertisement on television. So people will think of the convenience of Gardenia bread that it can be consumed directly without any side dishes. Okay, that's all for me for my part. So I'm gonna pass it to my another friends to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you to Joseph Daniel. Today I'm looking forward to talk with you about consumer buying behavior and will most likely to be involved in the purchase of the gardenia. Okay, first of all, what's the meaning of consumer buying behavior? Consumer buying behavior is the study of consumer and the process they are used to choose and dispose of products and service, including consumer emotional and behavioral responses. Okay. In this guide, we will take a look at the different aspect and the phase of consumer buying behavior, and we will discuss the most effective types of consumer buying behavior. The four types of complex buying behavior. Number one, complex buying behavior. This type of behavior is an encounter when a consumer are buying an expensive and frequently bought product. They are highly involved in the purchase process and consumer research before committing to a high value investment. Imagine, for example, imagine buying a house or a car. There are example of a complex buying behavior. Number two is dishonest reducing buying behavior. In dishonest reducing buying behavior, this might be due to high price and infrequent purchase. In addition, there's a availability of choice, which allows significant difference among brands. In this type, a consumer buy a product that is easily available. Consumer will be forced to buy a good that do not have too many choice, and therefore consumer will be left with a limited decision making based on the product. They based on the product based on the product available, time limitation or the budget limitation. Consumer buy a certain product without a lot of research. Uh, for example, uh, a consumer who is looking for a new collectible that can be taken for a camping. Quickly decision on the product based on a few brands available. The main criteria here will be the use of the feature of the collectible and the budget available with him. Okay, number three is habitual buying behavior. Habitual buying behavior is deprecated when a consumer has a low involvement in the purchase decision. In this case, the customer is perceiving only a few significant differences between brands. When a consumer are buying a product that they used to for their daily routine, they do not put a lot of thought. They are either buy their favorite brand or or the one that they are used to use every day. For example, why a consumer buy a loaf of bread, he tends to buy the brand that he is familiar, uh, which without actually putting a lot of research and time. Many products fit into this category. Everyday use products such as toilet paper, salt, sugar, and etc. Consumer just go for it and buy. There is a no brand loyalty. Consumer do not research or need information regarding purchase of such brands. Okay, habitual buying behavior is influenced by radio, television, and print media. Moreover, consumers are buying based on a brand's familiar. Marketer must use repetitive advertisement to build a brand. Further to the initiated product trial, marketers should use tactics like price drop, promotion, and sale promotion. Marketers should attract consumer using a visual symbol and imagery in their advertising. Consumer can easily remember a visual advertisement and can associate with a brand. Variety-seeking behavior. In variety-seeking consumer behavior, consumer involvement is low. They are significant different between brands. Here, consumers often do a lot of brand switching. The cost of switching product is low, and hence a consumer might want to try out a new product just out of a curiosity or boredom. Consumer here generally buy a different product not because of a dissatisfaction, but mainly with an urge to seek a variety. For example, consumer like to buy a cookies and choose a brand without putting much thought to it. Next time, the same consumer may choose a different brand out of a wish for a different taste. Brand switching occurs often often and without intention. Brands have to adapt a different strategies for such of a consumer behavior. The market leader will pursue habitual buying behavior by influencing the shelf space. The shelf will display a large number of related but a different product version. Okay, that's the all the main four types of the consumer buying behavior. Okay, let's talk about Gardenia types of consumer buying behavior. Consumer with a different occupation will have a different income level, and those they will have a different spending pattern. Number one is consumer with higher income will choose those bread which are more expensive, such as toast M. Number two, on the other hand, for a low income and level consumer, when they are making decision to purchase something, they will try to reduce expensive incur. Number three, customer who make a frequent purchase, little planning, little comparison, and low shopping effort before making purchasing. Okay, what type of Gardenia use? Gardenia values is quality by providing a convenience for customer. They offer affordable price for customer without abandon the quality. Gardenia on what the common needs for customer rather on the different. So Gardenia will focusing on what the customer needs, what the not making differences on the brand. Okay, number three, on the and last thing, Gardenia is target on the age and the lifestyle in the customer. Gardenia always focusing on the age and lifestyle because they always need what customer need. So they always ask the customer for a changing on the brand of something else. Okay, lastly, I will talk about most likely be involved in the purchase of the food of Gardenia. Gardenia segment their customer into a child, teenager, adult, and senior citizen. In doing that, Gardenia provide a variety of product to fulfill all needs. They are also focusing on adult and senior citizen. They are demand for healthy diet. Okay. Uh, Marketer will divide the market into categories such as age and gender, income and ethnic background. Gardenia focuses on age factor when Gardenia segment consumer into a teenager, adult and citizen. Teenager which is very genetic will require some sort to fight their hunger. In the same time, they are more likely to consume which a sweet taste. They are also focusing adult and senior citizen. They are demand for healthy diet. Gardenia launched a whole wheat bread, fiber bread, and the latest Gardenia breakthrough that contain a high level of vitamin and fiber. So I think for the most likely be involved in the purchase of the food is likely to be all certain of the consumer, such as child, teenager, adult, and citizen. All these things will buy the Gardenia to eat at the morning. Morning, night, and afternoon, like every day. Gardenia is such as a famous brand in the Malaysia. So I think most likely will be involved in the purchase of the food. Okay, thank you for that's all for me. We will continue for my friend. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I will talk about Gardenia brand packaging and two other products that compete with Gardenia. First, Gardenia brand packaging or packaging, also known as silent salesperson. Silent salesperson. What is salesperson? Salesperson is the one that will convince the buyer to buy this product, to buy the product. And the silent salesperson refer to the packaging because the packaging can't talk, of course, and that's why it's also known as the silent salesperson. As we can see here, the Gardenia brand packaging, the color of the wrapper and the bread filling usually match. And you can see from the picture here that the chocolate, the jagung, the vanilla has their own color that represent them. Like the vanilla is the blue one, the jagung is the yellow one, and this will help the others to buy or to choose this product easily. Like from the far away, they can say, oh, the yellow one, that's the jagung flavor, I want that jagung flavor. So it will help the buyer to choose the flavor easily. And next is there's a lot of information provided from the wrapper, and the font itself is easy to read. It is not too big and not too small. For the bad eyesight people, they still can read the font itself. And the information provided, like a halal logo, is very important because in Malaysia there is a lot of Muslim citizens that only eat halal food, and this logo will help them to know that, oh, they can eat this product. And lastly, the color was so bright that it can attract many buyers, especially the kids. Yes, are very this statement is very true because I know that I saw there is a lot of kids on the shop that always go like, oh, I want this bread, I want the yellow one, no, I want the blue one. Yes, there because the color itself and the picture from the gardenia packaging really attract the kids to buy them. And of course the adult to make can see the packaging itself very attractive to buy. Okay, next I will go to Massimo brand packaging. Massimo is another brand that compete with Gardenia. It's also a bakery or bread company. From the picture here, we can see that the color represent from the from the wrapper, and the flavor not usually match, but it's not that precise. Like the chocolate one is the purple color, and the jagung flavor is the orange color, and last one is the vanilla one is the green color. As you can see here, it may be matched but not so precise. So this type of wrapper also can help others to buy this product, but some will think that, from the far, the purple one, I think that is a blueberry one. It will sometimes confuse the buyer to buy this product. But still, it the color inside can represent the flavor if the buyer know what type of brand is that. And there is also a simple information provided with the font, and word size is quite readable. As you can see here, the font inside is too aesthetic that maybe make the older people, or you can say elderly, will have a hard time read this font. And the information provided is only the halal logo and the flavor. There is no others information provided from the front, but on the back side of the packaging, I think there's a lot of like its calorie and other things. But still, from the packaging here, we can say that color was simple, and the picture that represent the flavor inside was big. It's really attractive to some to other people, but maybe it will confuse the others from the far, or the one who has a bad eyesight that want to buy this product, will make it harder for them to read. And the last one is the Mighty Watt brand packaging. The color were bright and the pictures were so clear. As you can see, the color from the package itself was so bright. Well, yeah, the not like the Massimo and Gardenia packaging were bright, and Massimo packaging they use the dull color, and for the Mighty Watt they use the bright color again. And the picture shown was so clear, so they will know it, and it will make the customer or the buyer easy to read them, easy to know what the flavor of the product is. And like Massimo, this type of packaging has really simple information provided like halal logo and the flavor and some others. But still the font and the size of the what you say, the word on the package were so small, and if people have bad eyesight, they will have a hard time to read the information provided from the wrapper. As you can see, the cream roll font was so big, but the flavor is the one that other want to know, not the cream roll. So it will make them harder to read because it is so small under the cream roll words. But the color itself was so interesting for me, and maybe can attract some other kids because the bright design and the picture that shown were aesthetic too. Okay, from these three brand packaging, we can see the Gardenia has the superiority, or we could say the if someone has to buy, and they will know that, oh, Gardenia is the best one, because the packaging itself has a lot of information provided and easy to read, and the color itself will help the buyer to buy. As for others brand packaging like Mighty One, I think if they can make the font of the flavor bigger and add more interesting quotes on the front of the packaging, will help the buyer to buy them. And for the Massimo, I think they must use a different color or different type of color, like a bright one, because it is dull and it will make other don't see the product itself. Okay, thank you. That's all from me. Thank you.